now it's right in his wheelhouse. Good position where he can attack the pin.
Yeah, he has all those options now. With that ball sitting up, you can bring it in high, you can bring it in low. The choice is yours.
Excellent shot to within 10 feet.
This one just requires a little bit of focus. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Well, that hurts. Shouldn't be a problem here.
Oh, painful lip out. This is a good putt.
Absolutely can't believe it. I thought that thing was stone dead in the center.
Good solid par right there. Players now arriving at the 16th hole, 481-yard par 4, and Frank, the pressure is really starting to mount here in the final round of the Tour Championship.
Oh, you can smell that $10 million right now. You can also see that fairway shrinking. Notice the look of those 4 bunkers down the left. The fairway gets narrower and narrower the further you go down. You can try and fly past them, but this is going to be another one where the tee shot's downhill and the second shot.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Oh, no, look out, Frank. I think he flushed that one.
Oh, this is going, gone.
Wow, lucky break right there, Frank.
Well, that's what everyone else is going to say, except him.
Birdie chance here. Very long putt, though.
Got to be a little careful if it gets away on him.
Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Makeable putt right here. He is currently sitting at 1 under for the round. Seems to really have the touch today.
Final round of the Tour Championship, just a couple of holes to play. 455-yard par 4 17. Frank, it is a big moment, and it is a tough par 4.
And it's a big stage with all that water on the left, so you're well aware where you don't want to go. And if you don't notice those 3 bunkers on the right, you better have a look at your yardage book, because they'll easily come into play if you just bail out to the right. This requires simply your best tee shot and an equally good second shot.
Second shot, good look at the green. So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here.
Nice approach shot. He'll be happy with that. Frank, that is painful.
I mean, all you got to do, just hit it. Just hit it.
Just a tap in to finish the hole.
Frank, here we are, the final hole of the final round of the final event of the FedEx Cup season.
Yeah, this is it. They give you a little bit of a reprieve. You wouldn't think you could do too much damage on this. But if you have to make 3 to win, and that's to win everything, there's much easier holes to play than this.
So maybe a nice way to finish up with a good approach here to the 18th and a good chance for birdie.
Came to the putt excited to make birdie. Now, settle for par.
Yeah, little change in the attitude right now. When you've let one go, you've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important that this one goes in.
That was not a very good read right there. 14 feet to the hole. Frank, I thought that was in. Oh, man. You can't miss him from that distance. That's messy. That's a double bogey. So that concludes the final round here at this spectacular setting. Frank, final thoughts on the tournament?
Rich, I thought this was really a fantastic venue that challenged the players, and we saw some exciting golf out there all across the board.
Presented by EA Sports in association with the PGA Tour. Hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside my friend Frank Nobilo. We are at the most historic course in the world, Frank, the old course at St. Andrews.
I can't believe it was established in 1552, and it's just a pleasure to play. 7 shared greens. If you want to sort of do the maths on that, know exactly where you are. The shared greens will always add up to 18. For example, if you're on the second, it'll share it with the sixth. And there is 4 greens that aren't shared at all. That's 1, 9, 17, and 18. But just an absolute pleasure. And it's actually fun to play the course.
Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
Well, that's how you play the game, right there. Settles in over the putt. That's a birdie for McIlroy. He's just so explosive. Here we are now at the second. Always so important to try and establish a good round in these opening holes, Frank.
In the second hole, especially with a prevailing breeze and today's modern equipment, the odd player has actually driven this green, but you really see the tone of the golf course. The middle of the golf course is protected. There's a series of bunkers down there, but left is always the safe side of the golf course, because the best line to play your second shot from on the whole golf course is always the right side, and we see that here at the second.
Frank, right where you want to be.
Wouldn't be better if it was on a tee.
Let's see what McIlroy does now with his second. Can't hide the flagstick from that man.
He is just unbelievable. That never deviated offline.
Wow, I thought that was in. So they'll tap in. solid par to remain 1 under. On the tee box here at the third now, Frank, all of these holes look relatively straightforward. Can a golfer get lured in a kind of a false sense of security off the tee here at the old course?
No, well, you can. This hole, the third hole, even shorter than the second, so reachable. But a lot of people tend to bail out towards the left. That's the middle of the golf course. And that leaves you a devilish little pitch or short wedge across that big gaping bunker that protects both the third and the 15th green. So once again, want to drive the ball down the right side, but there's a series of pot bunkers there.
Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
So a long putt there and just didn't read it quite right. So a tester from 4 feet.
Has to like that one. Another birdie to get to 2 under par. Frank now at the 4th hole.
Yeah, long par 4. 2 choices, whether he's game enough to drive it down the right or down the left, which is a much wider piece of fairway. Oh, I like that.
Frank, they say you have to ride the wind. Boy, he got all of that one.
Got every ounce out of the conditions.
That will be a great look at birdie. Frank, this would be a nice way to jumpstart the round.
Yeah, his momentum can quickly go in the right direction if he makes this.
3rd birdie of the round. Hole number 5 of the first par 5 we've seen today. This fairway looks like it narrows quite a bit, Frank. Are you thinking eagle when you step up onto the tee?
When he goes after it like he is here.
Look at this. Look at all the power in that coil.
Smoked that one.
Great strike and a great result. Sitting up, good chance to attack the flag. And about 1 1/4 left to the hole. Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. Regarded as a very accurate player, that shot says it all. And getting ready for the putt. With that, moves to 5 under par. Now to the 374-yard par 4 6th, another scoring opportunity.
Just be very careful of the wind conditions here because that'll affect the strategy off the tee. But bunkers left and right to be avoided.
I mean, that is a sight to behold. What a spectacular shot we just saw on the par 4 with a drive in 1. Pretty good stroke right there. Just hit it through the break.
Well, it's that sort of distance. If it goes in, it's a bonus.
Well, you're not going to make that putt all the time, but you'd like to at least get it to the hole.
If he keeps putting like that, he's going to be an announcer in no time.
Continuing from the oldest championship in the game. It's the Open Championship at the old course at St. Andrews. Here at the 7th hole now, Frank.
Yeah, you try and hit your tee shot over a little stone there. It's called the March stone. That's a good line for like left of center. And, well, if you can just work it off that, good tee shot, you're only going to have a pitch in here to a green that's set up very high.
But that approach shot is well to the left, but still, he's on the putting surface. Might want to check the GPS on a putt this long. Just didn't have the speed. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Well, that was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
No, sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
Just a couple of feet. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Standing on the tee at the par 3 8th here at the Old Course. And Frank, what are we looking at here?
One of the biggest greens on the golf course. It looks flat, it looks like it's easy, but once that flag gets on the left side, this one, the hole becomes a little bit more difficult. It's very easy to take this hole for granted. Very hard to hit it close, though.
Well, that's how you play the game right there. Knock it on the green and give yourself a good look at birdie.
Frank, just a surgical touch out there.
And the scorecard reflects yet another birdie.
Rounding out the opening 9 here at St. Andrews. And Frank, this par 4 features a couple of fairway bunkers that players will have to contend with.
Yeah, this hole is a fun hole when you first stand on that tee and look at it. You see those bunkers smack bang in the middle of the fairway. The last bunker there in the middle is called the end hole. This hole is called the end. But this green, too, is so flat, very, very difficult to read. But if you get there, pull the head cover off the driver. Remember, this is the only chance you get to play the Old Course.
Oh, he's going to love it.
How far was that? That was miles away.
Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side. But, Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
Well, this one has a chance to be really good.
Long and straight.
That's how you do it. Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
How good has the swing tempo been?
Has not lost it since the first hole, Rich. I think that's been the key to the round. Started with that rhythm, even though the winds were out there. The winds haven't abated, and neither has that rhythm.
Oh, man.
Just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Getting set now over the putt. 8 under par for the round. Frank, number 11, the Eden, is really one of the more fascinating holes in all of golf.
Yeah, the two bunkers that the players normally worry about, Strath bunker in the front and the hill bunker to the left. What makes those two bunkers so difficult is the steepness of the faces in it.
He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track.
Well, that's just a case of not focusing right there. What a lapse in concentration. This for par. And he makes it for par. Now at the 12th, and Frank, when you put the peg in the ground here, are you licking your chops?
Well, you are, unless you're playing into a head breeze. Because if you are playing a head breeze, then you've got to worry about the 4 bunkers that are in the middle of this fairway. Touch of help, or if you're a long hitter, then all you've got to do is worry about that little pot bunker just short of this green. There's gorse left and right.
Just a good solid tee shot right there, about 280 yards. Second shot, good look at the green.
Chance for birdie after that beautiful shot.
Not a gimme, but well within his range. Continues to amaze, yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. Frank, how about the bunkers here at 13? A rather ominous sounding name.
Yeah, the coffins, and they are that for a reason. If you finish up in there, well, the best you'll probably ever do is make a bogey, unless you're an absolute genius. That'll be avoided, certainly off the tee. If you do, it's still a difficult hole. A second shot, unless you hit a perfect tee shot, will be blind.
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. Setting up for an approach shot here. Part of the experience of playing the old course at St. Andrews is not only the history, but also the caddies. Witty, wisecracking caddies. Guy once hit a ball hard left into a gorse bush, and he turned to his caddy and he said, "Is that okay?" And the caddy, little Jimmy, said, "Does it look okay? Hit another one?" Routine stuff for Rory, that's a par. Frank, what's the strategy here at the 14th?
If you can't go for this par 5 and 2, Rich, there is another option where you can go left. And I mean left of left. That's down the 4th fairway. That's across the Elysian Fields, as they call it, which is a set of sort of hummocks that run down the middle. And you can find a flat lie there and come across at about a 45-degree angle for your third shot to 14. Second shot. Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
Well, that one didn't work out. It didn't look bad in the air. It hit the green, but didn't sit.
Yeah, it was never going to stop.
Frank, how about that?
Oh, can you believe that, too? I mean, could have hit the flag and bounced away. Instead, straight in. Amazing shot, and really deserves it.
Frank, one of the things I always loved about links golf is that you're not aiming at a flagstick or a tree, but sometimes you're aiming for a steeple in the distance, and this is a good example here at the 15th.
Yeah, the church steeple is the exact line off the tee. That gives you sort of the center of the fairway. Really, you don't have to be overly bold off the tee. This is about just finding a nice flat lie for that second shot, because this is another difficult green that's well protected by just one little bunker that's in the front left that you don't think comes into play. But if your second shot doesn't land the right distance, more often than not, it just gets swallowed up by that.
Sinks the putt for birdie. Frank, the 16th hole, there was a time in my life when I was in 4th grade, I would have really enjoyed hitting the principal's nose. But that's not a good thing here?
Well, I'd like to think you graduated past 4th grade, but and if you did, then you'd be very aware of the principal's nose. You'd hit it left, it'd be a little longer in for your second shot.
What a display of power and precision off the tee. On the green here on the par 4 in 1. That was not a very good read right there. Shouldn't be a problem here. Really has it going now. Back-to-back birdies. Frank, this may well be the most famous hole in the world. It's the road hole here at the Old Course, number 17.
Yeah, without doubt, Rich. The vistas have changed over the years. There used to be a series of railway sheds down the right, and you had to hit it over across those. Now you hit it off across the corner of the hotel. So blind tee shot, further right you go, the shorter and the better angle you have in. And you need a good angle in because you mentioned it, road hole, it's got the road hole bunker that sits perfectly in that left front of this par 4 green.
What a nice shot. Right on the green and a pretty easy putt on the way. Frankie seems to have found something. Already 2 birdies in a row and now another chance.
Yeah, it's all starting to flow here. This is really important. He's starting to play well, so finish it off here for 3 in a row.
Frank, here at the 18th, so much history has been made through the years.
Yeah, one of my favorite memories, I remember Jack Nicklaus when he beat Doug Sanders in that playoff. The famous sort of short putt that Doug Sanders missed. But really, the great moment that stands out was Seve making that 15-footer across the hill in 1984 wearing the blue sweater. Not only did he win the Open Championship, but he beat a tremendous field that included Bernard Langer, Tom Watson, Fred Couples, Lanny Wadkins, Faldo, and Greg Norman. It was an amazing Open Championship.
And I loved that fist pump. It was pure Seve, all that fire, all that passion came flying out. And that's where you just sort of fell in love with the game. Great way to finish off the final approach shot with a birdie opportunity. That's a birdie for McIlroy. He's just so explosive. Frank, I have to say, I've been impressed by the level of golf today. Really came out here with a solid game plan and executed.
And consequently, a very solid round. Continuing with that kind of play can certainly put you in the winner's seat.
This is EA Sports, PGA Tour coverage coming your way. We're here in Fife, Scotland, known to many as the home of golf. They've been playing the game here since the 15th century. Today here at the old course at St. Andrews, this historic linksland will be the battleground for the most decorated golfers of the modern day. Rich Lerner alongside my partner Frank Novello for EA Sports will be calling all the action out here today. Frank, when you think of St. Andrews, what sort of memories come to mind?
Rich, I think you've got to think of the Swilcan Bridge first and foremost. And that's a little bridge that crosses the burn as you go down the 18th. Every great player that's ever played this game has walked across that bridge and had a look back. And it's just a golf course that continually grows on you. This is where the game started, and it's a monument forever and a day.
And that Swilcan Bridge has connected the generations from Jones to Jack, from Jack to Tiger. This one just requires a little bit of focus. Even par early on. Trying to get the round off to a good start. Frank, we're at the second hole, and what's ahead?
Well, the ideal tee shot just a little over that gorse bush in front of you, which is down the right side. That's the best angle in, but it also brings in a little bit of trouble. But if that pin is anywhere towards the middle of this double green, then really you want to be coming in from the right side.
Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
And it makes the green in regulation.
Even par, currently.
So into red figures at 1 under. On the tee box here at the third now. Frank, all of these holes look relatively straightforward. Can a golfer get lured in a kind of a false sense of security off the tee here at the old course?
No, well, you can. This hole, the third hole, even shorter than the second, so reachable. But a lot of people tend to bail out towards the left. That's the middle of the golf course. And that leaves you a devilish little pitch or a short wedge across that big gaping bunker that protects both the third and the 15th green. So once again, want to drive the ball down the right side, but there's a series of pot bunkers there.
This is a cross-country special. Yeah, that's a good putt right there. From that distance, he'll settle. And this would be nice. 2 straight birdies. Count that for a birdie. Frank, the challenge begins to intensify here at the fourth.
Yeah, a bit risky if you try and hit it down the right side. Just about every player I've seen over the years has sort of aired a little bit to the left. That's a safer tee shot, but it does set up a very daunting second. Oh, that was sweet. Straight down the middle.
And he's set up for his second shot here, looking to knock it on the green. Frank, he's knocking them down and picking them up.
Oh, it's just taking pins out, one after the other.
Frank, this would be huge.
Oh, it's got that strut going, everything. This is when the hole starts to look a little bit bigger. You really feel like you can start to make everything.
Chance here at the par 5 fifth, Frank, to make a little move early in the round.
Yeah, it's certainly eagles galore. The fifth hole is one of the biggest greens on the golf course, shared with the 13th. So good tee shot, and you have a nice big target, even though it's a blind second shot coming up.
Oh, my goodness. He pumped it, he thumped it, he jumped it. What a drive. Now the game's #1 player, Rory McIlroy, ready with his approach. Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Moving on to the par 4 6th hole here at the birthplace of golf. This hole shares a green actually with the 12th. How do you work your way around this hole, Frank?
Some sort of tee shot, 3 bunkers that look like they're in the left center of the fairway and a series of bunkers down the right. So somehow bisect those, and then you set yourself up to a green with a false front.
I mean, that is a sight to behold. What a spectacular shot we just saw on the par 4 with a drive in 1.
You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. It's a very makeable putt here. He is currently 5 under for his round. So makes the putt, and now at -6. Now, 7th hole here at the Old Course, Frank.
Ideal line, just hit your tee shot over the march stone. The bunker on the 11th green actually often comes into play, called the shell bunker. So anything a little bit right of that, but very difficult green for the approach shot coming up.
Well, that approach shot is well to the left, but still, he's on the putting surface.
Might want to check the GPS on a putt this long. Looks like he just misread that.
Eyeing this putt for a birdie.
Came to the putt excited to make birdie. Now, settle for par.
Yeah, a little change in the attitude right now. When you've let one go, you've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important this one goes in.
There you have it. Well done. Great putt. Now to the par 3-8. Frank, what's the best way to go at it?
Well, for these players, straight at the flag. This is the first par 3 you'll see, and a good chance to make 2 coming up ahead. But we do see a lot of long putts here with an errant tee shot. And this is not heading in the right direction.
Well, it looks like it's going to be in the rough.
So a chance for birdie after another solid approach shot. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point.
Boy, he looked like Ben Crenshaw right there. That was smooth and easy, right in the heart. And Frank, the Open Championship coming back to the home of golf this summer.
Yeah, and remember, too, the last time it was here, Louis Oosthuizen at the 9th hole, he had no problem driving this par 4. So let's see if you can do the same. If you can carry that last bunker down there, there's every chance that your tee shot can run onto this very flat green.
That was a big, bold strike, and now a chance for a big, bold move. Putt for eagle coming up.
Well, you're not going to make that putt all the time, but you'd like to at least get it to the hole.
If he keeps putting like that, he's going to be an announcer in no time.
Excellent front side, trying to keep it going here on the second 9.
He's just playing beautifully, hitting so many good shots, giving himself so many opportunities. Can he keep it going?
No doubt they'll be happy with that shot. Well played. Shouldn't be a problem here. Wow, I thought he made that. So the eagle goes begging. He still has this for birdie. Frank, 2 is nice, but
3 is even better.
Frank, what are we looking at here at the famed par 3 11th at the Old Course?
Well, the most difficult, there is only 2 par 3s here at the Old Course, and this one's called high, elevated green, and you've got to fly that bunker that protects the front of the green. That's called the Strath bunker. You really take anything on this green. You make a 2 here, you'll make a move on the field.
Early part of this back 9 and a good approach shot. Now we'll have this for birdie.
Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
So just a formality here.
Well, too bad he gives one back. Frank, from this vantage point here at the 12th, you can see why the old course, St. Andrews, are so iconic in the sport.
Yeah, this is a fun hole as we start to sort of head back to the village of St. Andrews. Hole's called Heathery. There's a big crop of heather on the left, and there's 4 little pot bunkers that are in the middle of this fairway, so you've really got to be cognizant of those. But good time to take the head cover off if you're a long hitter, and then you've only got to worry about that one pot bunker just short of the green.
This is the second shot at the par 4. On the green in regulation. And getting ready for the putt.
Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole.
Moving on now to the par 4 13th. Frank, what's the strategy here?
Once again, to avoid those pot bunkers, the first one is called nicks, and then the other 2 up ahead, once again, they're called the coffins. Somehow you've got to go right or left of those or beyond those. If you can go in the exact right position, which is slightly left center, you will actually have a full view of this green. The left or right of that, then it's a blind second shot.
Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up. It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
Looking to make a move. This putt for birdie. That's a birdie for McIlroy. He's just so explosive.
Frank, what are we looking at here at the big par 5 14th?
Out of bounds on the right, and those little series of pot bunkers called the birdies. Now, if you get in trouble here, you can bail out with your second shot down the left, which is the 4th fairway. That's one other option of playing this par 5. But a good tee shot, and you can certainly go at this for 2.
Wow, Frank, look at that one run out. Just blistered that tee shot.
Well, that has to be 325 if it's an inch.
Great effort right there, and a great chance to knock in that short putt. Not a gimme, but well within his range.
And the great hits just keep coming. Moves to -11 on the day.
Back here at the 15th, and Frank, this fairway narrows up in a hurry.
And it's also, there's a big crop of heather that sort of constrains you if you're going to hit it just straight down the middle. Only the brave go down the right side. Brings in those little bunkers called robs, and they'll rob your scorecard, that's for sure.
Nothing to argue about there, right in the fairway.
Second shot, good look at the green.
That will be a great look at birdie. Right about 9 feet here to the hole.
Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. And now another par for the 16th, Frank, and another hole where precision off the tee is going to be paramount.
Yeah, the norm of the tee is really to avoid a series of 3 bunkers called the principal's nose. I never really figured out why they're called that, but it's not the place to be, that's for sure. Stay short of those is the safe line, and then a little pot bunker once again in the front left of the screen called the wig. That's also to be avoided. Another difficult green. Looks a little simpler from the fairway, but miss your mark with the yardage and you'll pay a premium.
Speed wasn't bad on that long putt, but the read wasn't very good.
Needs a pair of binoculars to see the hole.
Oh, that's a tough break with that miss. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read.
Always take that. Good par putt right there. Frank, this is sort of bizarre. You're standing on the tee at the road hole, one of the most famous par 4s in the sport, and you're aiming for a hotel?
Well, you're aiming over a series of letters that say the Old Course Hotel. If you can hit it exactly over that U, then you will be in the right place, which hopefully is down the middle of the fairway. You avoid that heather on the left. That bunker up ahead, the road hole bunker, you remember David Duval? He got stuck in there. Years ago, Tommy Nakajima, he could hardly ever get that ball out, and in the end succumbed, I think, to double figures. So the hole has more than one way to trap you, so stay away from the road on the road hole.
Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. Frank, not close, but from that lie, not bad.
Oh, that's excellent. Seriously, given the conditions, Rich. It's no snack, though. A little bit more hope than determination in that putt.
Par bid here. Par for McIlroy, but you're just waiting for that moment when he hits that accelerator and pulls away. He has just hammered this drive here at the 18th, and now he is in a really good position to make a birdie here on the final hole. Great way to finish off the final approach shot with a birdie opportunity. Just a little tap in here, knocking down all the shots today, now at 13 under. Really good round out there today. What's the mindset, Frank, to keep it going?
First thing, really, Rich, just try and keep the same composure for tomorrow's round. Get some rest. We know that. Shouldn't really have to hit the range. Swings in good position. Just keep it easy and visualize how tomorrow's going to pan out.
Coverage coming your way is presented by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. And hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. We are at Oakmont Country Club in western Pennsylvania. Frank, the site of so many historic moments. Great players have made their mark here. Sam Snead, Ben Hogan, Jack Nicklaus, Ernie Els, a long and distinguished list.
Oakmont, if it's not the most difficult golf course in North America, Rich, it's certainly one of the most difficult golf courses. With its 210 bunkers, really personified by the church pews, the hard and slick greens that slope away from the player and the tight fairways, this golf course always requires the utmost precision.
That is a green in regulation as the approach shot hits the first green, but he is by no means in for par yet. A lengthy putt coming up. That was not a very good read right there. Settles in over the putt. Routine stuff for Rory, that's a par. Relatively short par 4, second hole. Frank, what's the right play off the tee here? It's probably not driver.
It certainly isn't. You need a decent yardage in for your second shot, so you don't really want to hit it past those last of the 6 bunkers on that right side. It leaves a shot of 100, 110 yards. There's another tee box a little further up where they can make it like drivable at 265 yards, but for such a short hole, this is sort of a fearsome one. You always feel like you're making a mistake when you're putting the ball on the tee.
That's a head scratcher. No other way to put it. That close to the green and misses it badly to the right. That is professional with a capital P right there.
That's stealing.
Third hole's a par 4. Again, it's 428 yards, but frankly, look out to the left and we can see there's nothing quite like the third at Oakmont.
Well, the church pews certainly not. Well, when he goes after it like he is here. Smoked that one.
Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
Birdie try up next. Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll.
Well, Frank, it's our job to get excited.
You can't when you leave it short, though.
I'm sad.
He's making my job hard.
As this one for par. -1 in the early going.
Frank, at Oakmont, you have to take advantage of scoring opportunities when they present themselves. Is this one of those moments here, the par 5, fourth hole at 609 yards?
It'll certainly be one of the holes that determine the champion, because the difference between making 4 and 6 on this hole is extremely slim. Very, very stringent tee shot. You're heading towards those church pews and trying to cut the ball away from it. It's easy to see why Jack Nicklaus, who faded the ball, and Ben Hogan won around here.
Let's see what McIlroy does now with his second. That should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. That was just a gutsy shot right there, and a good look at Eagle coming up.
It's that sneaky distance.
Frank, this game will drive you crazy.
Yeah, you can do so many things right, and then just something so simple, completely wrong.
Take you up now to the fifth hole, 382-yard par 4. Frank, what do you think of the fifth?
An excellent tee shot is required here with just a long iron. Even something as short as a 4-iron is fine, because the hole's not overly long. If you can bisect the bunkers on both sides, that's the key there. Second shot's going to be a little downhill.
Getting set for this next shot from the rough, what does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are, because, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
Frank, there's nothing like catching a bunker shot just perfectly. Splashes out, lands softly, and just runs up to that hole.
Yeah, it's like 3D. There's the component in the strike where it's going to land, and then the third part of it is how much will it roll. Safely on the dance floor?
Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either.
Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Locked in on the read and the speed. Well, he knew it right from the start. Just a poor putt. So just a formality here.
Putt drops. Now at 1 over par. And now to the par 3 sixth here at Oakmont, measuring in at just under 200 yards. Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Oh, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Nice putt, and now back to level par.
Par 4 7, 434 yards.
That's an absolute beauty.
Frank, what's the player looking at here with the approach shot at the par 4 7?
The second part of the second shot just goes a little bit downhill, and once again you see that little ski slope look just short of that green. It means you really have to pitch the ball on the front third of the green. Anything further than that, you risk the ball running left into those bunkers.
Just singes the edge, Frank.
Yeah, but at least he's burning the edges. You know you're hitting good putts.
Still even par for the day.
The par 3 8. This is where Angel Cabrera, Sunday at the U.S. Open in 2007, made a deuce, and it was set up to play 300 yards on that final day. Now, this is all you want, Frank, in a par 3.
Yeah, it was the first 300-yard par 3 ever in a US Open.
On the green, and a chance for birdie.
Even par currently.
Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Just a couple of feet. And he makes it for par.
Rounding out the front nine here at Oakmont, Frank, it looks to be straight away, uphill. Anything to be cautious about on this tee shot?
Well, there certainly is. Years gone by, this was a par 5 for the US Opens of yesteryear. Par 5 still for the members. And the reason why is it's a little bit uphill, semi-blind tee shot, bunkers left and right, and of course rough if you miss those. This is one of those holes, even though it's a par 4 now, you miss the fairway here, you are not reaching this green in 2. This looks like it's going to find the target.
That's well played. Now a good look at birdie. This one just requires a little bit of focus.
Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole.
Drops it, and he's at even par. Take a look now at the 10th hole, Frank. Par